Talk about making a deal with the devil,
The
yo.
devil, yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
did he make a deal with the devil?
uh, is, is Diddy Sammy? Is Diddy Sammy, preacher boy?
Is he one of the Forbes 100?
Yeah! Let's get into
It was up,
this,
Miss Rashad Antonio. We are the MC Collective, back at it again, man, with the
baby.
final three episodes of Ironheart. All
Man,
spoilers. Man, got to talk about a thing to talk about a thing. And the cat's already out the bag. Y'all already know what it is. Your favorite your favorite MCU Sith Lord Mephisto was here. Just to name the episodes, we're four Bad Magic, five
mm-hmm,
Karma's a glitch, and
mm-hmm,
six The past is the past. Again, all spoilers, man. I watched this last night, and
mm-hmm.
Maddie, and Nia watched it, and we were very went through a range of emotions. Uh,
Yeah.
I I just want to say, man, like they hit. I think they hit the points that we were talking about last episode that they need to
Mm-hmm,
get to. They
mm-hmm,
actually got to the emotional beats,
mm-hmm.
which was very. It got episode five.
Yeah.
Boy, when we go back to like when she shows the hologram of like Riri's pops, like step pops, and they're in the
Mm.
shop and she
We,
yo,
we see the return of Barf.
bro,
Yeah.
we did that really was they was barfing it up. For
Barf,
real, yo. Yeah, like
yeah.
that was cool. And then we actually do have Mephisto legit in the MCU after
All you fuss after so many years,
so many years.
people have been waiting for Mephisto ever since what, WandaVision?
Definitely.
Rashad, right, WandaVision for sure, or whatever. And people that have actually read the graphic novel of the Infinity Gauntlet, that was one big thing missing. Mephisto was Ebony Maw in the graphic novel. A lot of Ebony Maw lines of straight 100% glazing Mephisto. I mean glazing Thanos came from, what I'm saying, came from Mephisto. But we finally got him in it. I want to give a shout out to Sacha Baron Cohen for doing the role. And
Yeah.
it was weird because I was when the rumors came out that Sacha Baron Cohen was going to be Mephisto, I was like, how are they going to play this Mephisto? Because we've only seen Sacha Baron Cohen playing in some of the wildest, wildest movies. Look, the last part we just did, we brought up Sacha Baron Cohen where he was in Talladega, Ricky Bobby. You know what I'm saying? I think the U.S. introduction to Sacha Baron Cohen was Ali G, was like the Ali G show.
Yo.
Every
Yo.
yeah,
I
Ali
forgot
G
about
show.
that. The Ali G show
Uh,
was so ridiculous.
yeah, it was ridiculous. What else is Bruno is another you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Borat.
God, Borat, you get, he's always playing these over the top, like super eccentric roles, and to see him play somewhat of
Yeah, it
a
was
serious
real.
role,
He
and to
was
be
real
real center.
he was like very over like understated,
Uh-huh.
but like very like self-assured, very
Yes.
sinister.
Right. He
And
was giving the perfect act of how you envision someone of Mephisto like a demon or whatever trying to manipulate you, that we've seen in TV. How he was, when he was talking in the regular English accent, regular American accent, and then later on when you see him talking to my man Parker, he whips out the British. He was like, "Hey man, where your accent? Yo man, where your accent come from and everything?" And every once in a while you'll get kind of the menacing growl, but it wasn't even really super menacing. He did an excellent job playing Mephisto, and I'm curious to see what we're going to do with him in that character and how, say how this is going to build upon, will this eventually join? Yes, it's in the MCU, but MCU television. Will this join the
Let's
MC?
let's let's talk about just the point that I mean at the top with our cold open, because
Uh-huh.
that's going to be the cold open. The
Okay.
just the amount of people that Mephisto has literally touched and signed contracts with in the MCU. This man said the four is 100, 14 kings, three
Uh-huh.
popes. So
Yeah.
and just a cavalcade of regular folks
Yeah.
because the that episode 4 where we see go back to the original robbery, he tried to rob his pops. He found out that of course
Mm.
it's his dad.
That
Try to
was
rob his
trash.
dad, and they separate, and he goes down the like this little like over like underpass,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden you see dudes like fam, I don't like your odds here. He hit him with the Han Solo, and
Yeah.
and then shows them the door to the pizza shop.
Yeah.
Does Mephisto like pizza? Because not only is it the pizza shop he shows them, but that is the same pizza shop that
Yeah.
is in the city.
That's the headquarters
You know what I'm
for
saying? Like
yeah.
the devil loves pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the
So
devil's food, man. I mean,
I
I don't
hey,
blame
I don't
I
it's
don't blame them.
pizza can be good as sin, yo. Like
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
trying
And it takes a
shit.
lot to get a bad pizza. Even a bad pizza can
Yeah,
be really
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a sin. But nah,
Yeah.
but so that pizza shop, we have Riri later on meeting him downstairs at the pizza shop. Also, okay, does Mephisto give Ezekiel a deal? Because we don't see him because he was downstairs.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Riri, because Riri got the best of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yo, we still got business or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all
because
right,
because she knew she told him like, listen, you're organic. I'm pretty sure they ain't do nothing to you to
yeah,
your to
I'm
your
gonna,
balls.
yeah,
And so she was like,
I'm gonna reboot you essentially."
yeah,
It's like that was crazy
yeah,
that what's called had control of him.
yeah,
Your Parker had control of him, and he was just
uh-huh.
doing his biddings like he was like a puppet, a true legit
That's a
puppet.
oh
A couple episodes, so they go
uh
upstairs,
you
run the fade with Parker.
if you get some music, you need to put Master of Puppets if we talk about that. Oh, Metallica Master of Puppets because
You're right. You're right.
that's
You're right.
exactly what Master of Puppets.
That was good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So goes in there, run the fade with Parker, right? And finally, hits him with the flim flam, and then
Yeah.
takes the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
he was confused. Not only that, but like your man started turning into like a demigorgon of that joint. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Yeah,
ah, yeah, yeah.
it was almost like you know what it was almost like seeing Smeagol turn into Gollum. You know what I'm saying? It was a
It was
transformation.
like Mike Jackson turning into
Yo,
into the werewolf
yeah. She
thriller.
was like, she told us, "Look what you're doing to yourself." He was gone, sweetheart. You
Nah,
had
it
to,
was a wrap, yo. He did not care.
yeah.
Like, so
Hmm.
that go back downstairs and we see the Faustian deal that we get. And I saw in like episode 2, there was a billboard that said Faust behind it. I was like, oh, that's the devil. And I just forgot to mention it. And people mentioned brought it up last week or so, but I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, Faust.
Yeah.
That's Faustian. That's definitely,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that whole conversation between Mephisto and Riri. Okay, so I'm online, right? You know what I'm saying, on threads, and people are talking, and on TikTok too. And I'm just posting, just some pictures of last night or whatever. And I talked about, just how it felt. And somebody was like, Riri is a villain, and she ends up making a deal with the devil. Like she has no heroic qualities left. I'm like, one, her deal with the devil wasn't anything nefarious.
No.
She he got, I'm sorry. He gave her exactly what she wanted. And what she
Hmm.
wanted back was her friend because the prior episode lost her friend, the AI, which everybody came
Hmm.
around to, like even Xavier, he finally
Yeah.
came around. That's his name, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, he
yeah.
was like,
He's like,
I might not
ah,
truly like it, but I get it.
I gotta accept it. You know what I'm saying? Then we had the
Yeah.
awkward AI moments, and he was pissy mad, which I accept because I
Yeah.
would be mad too. I'd be
Hmm.
very taken aback to see my passed away sister trying to be like,
Hmm.
yo, I've been waiting to meet you.
Right. Like,
The
what?
hell?
You know.
And then he was like, this is an abomination.
This is abomination. You know, go straight Southern Baptist on him. By the name of God,
You have desecrated. Yeah, yeah.
desecrated the memory of my
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, yeah. He was mad, yo. Fire
Yeah,
and
he was
brimstone.
pissed.
So
Yeah,
ironically, he goes talk to Mephisto. And Mephisto gives her what exactly what she wants.
yeah.
And just the dialogue that they're having, and he's like, yeah,
I've been watching you.
yeah, hey. I love the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Did
Doing
you
real
see?
good.
Did you see the Easter egg
Which one?
when he was stirring the coffee, tea, whatever it
Oh,
was,
yeah.
and he pulled the spoon out? The reflection of the spoon showed the comic
Yeah, his true
look
form.
of his true form, all
Yeah.
red, yellow eyes. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh!" When I saw that, I said, hold on. I had to rewind it back just to be sure my eyes won't playing with me, and I caught that and said, yes,
Here it is, Tony, right?
yes.
Because I
Hmm.
like I love that they did this and they actually go in there because to me, Riri making this decision, like even though it's the wrong decision,
Hmm.
10 out of 10, wrong
Yeah,
decision.
yeah,
It is the most humanist, one of the most humanistic things I
yeah,
think that they've done on a show.
yeah.
Because usually they'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna like my moral code isn't gonna interfere with, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
what my desires are. Like I'm gonna essentially, okay, I'm gonna die to self so I won't be corrupted. But here's the thing. People be corrupted every day. Like that's the part that I like. I hate it. I hate it for the character.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
just
yeah.
but just for like for story purposes,
Hmm.
it's really the right move because now she has to have a different struggle and a different arc when next time we see her. Like how's she gonna how's she gonna shake the devil off?
Right. Shake, 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 shake the devil off in the name of Jesus. Shake the devil. So
Hey, hold on, yo. Did you hear what she called us said? She said, Satan, get behind me. Her mom said it. Yo, show some black.
so so my whole thing with the Mephisto thing and the conversation, and then I was like, okay. And I love how they was cutting this, how they edited this. Because it made it seem like at first she was seeing a vision of what it would be.
Yeah.
And then they came back to her, and I was thinking, come on, girl, don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? I thought she was gonna hit him with the nah, I know better than this type thing. And then you keep seeing the cutting back and forth, and you like, is this really happening? Then when the show goes before it fades to black, you see the hug and you see the mark of a fisto crawling. I was you're like, ah. So I like that they did that. I do. That's the rational part of me. The southeastern Virginia Christian Baptist part of me is like, little girl, you're a black woman. You know better than this little black girl. You know damn better than the, it's just like
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? You go knocking on the devil's door. One day he gonna answer, you know.
I'm
And
just,
and she
yeah,
and she and
yeah.
she and she tried to make it seem like I know that this is wrong, but I'm going to put a caveat to this just to make sure. And her caveat is this is just on me, right? Don't come after any of my loved ones or anything like that. But always, what do we always see or else we hear about, when you're making deals with the darker side of things? It's always a catch. It's always a catch
Yeah,
to it. And I
yeah.
can't wait to see what the catch
Tony, like
is
between
going to be.
so like his sales pitch is insane. He says,
Yeah.
"Hey,
I
you want
want
some
some more.
pizza? So one, I'm gonna try to get you comfortable
Yeah.
to bring your guard down. So I
Mm-hmm.
give you food. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we can and then
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation because it's easy to talk like over food because that's a communal
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Two, he says, "Hey." Both of them say, "Hey, what's the catch?" He says to both of them, "Oh man, you're not even gonna miss it." Like how you gonna like and them just that's zooming past them, and then they ask the next question, and then
Right.
he tells them everything
Right.
that he that they want to hear, and like
Because you and me gonna be like, what we ain't gonna miss?
yeah, miss
Say
what?
it. Miss
Like what
what?
you
Say
mean?
it.
What
We
am I not gonna
we
miss?
what about it? We're gonna be like, Delroy Lindo. Say it. Go ahead, say it. I help you. I say it with you. What am I miss? Say it. Say it. You can say it. Go ahead, say it.
Nah, yo, that's
Uh,
so true. Because I was
yeah,
like, why y'all not asking the next question?
right.
What am I gonna miss?
Because at first, when Riri first was talking to him and got introduced, she was given how I would expect a black person to be. Yo, who are you? My nigga, who are you? Like, what's
Exactly.
this or whatever? And she's thinking, but the funny part was this, but this is what Sasha Baron Cohen's Mephisto had me cracking up. She was like, all right, Dormammu. He said, what? He
Dormammu.
was he was so offended. He said, man, Dormammu can't wipe my ass. I said, do you know how wild that is to say? Think about this, Rashad, how wild that is. Dormammu is is in charge, is like the lord of a universe. And Bethesda was sitting
Definitely.
there like, this dude, man, he was like Soldier Boy. Dormammu, Frank, Dormammu, you know who I am, girl?
Call
You
that
know,
man he said that bulbous cloud.
yeah, that bulbous cloud or whatever, and people, I know we are jumping all around, but we're talking about the ending part because the ending part was really captivating. I love that scene. I love the scene at the end. At the end, just the conversation. Because once again, Rashad, we are fans of dialogue, and I thought that was great dialogue between them. And it's just amazing. It's awesome how it went. How you thought it was going to go one way, and it completely went the way you didn't want it to go, and it's there. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so, so
It
that's
it
one
it,
thing.
it really because that whole scene, like you said, like the intercutting of
Mm-hmm.
even the fact, excuse me, even the part when she was like run diagnostic, and then you see your girl there, and it was like nothing happened. But Dinoxus ran
Yes.
on the iron suit. And then you see
Mm-hmm.
her embrace her. Like I'm like wait for this long. I'm like, oh
Man,
no.
I
Oh
said she ain't just bring
no.
her back as an AI. She
Brought
straight
back
up
her
brought her back
corporeal
to
form. You know, I'm like
yeah.
it's a real person. And that part is absolutely wild because
And the other part is gonna be wild about it too, when her mom finds out, and she's gonna be like, "Well, why you ain't bring Gary back too?"
not even Tony. Like this, this could like ripple effects of
Yes, yes,
like okay, so
yes.
do
This
you
is the ripple
understand that
effect,
like
epic
now like
proportion.
that Mephisto can just pop up wherever he wants and just be like, the wild card, just messing stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
anytime now because
Hmm.
he's already been introduced, and plus he says I already been influential in the world anyway. Because I'm just out here,
Yeah.
just like I'm collecting souls. That's it.
Because what he even told Parker when he was in the room, and he was like, "Where are you at? Where are you at?" He was like, "I got other clients. What do you want?" I said, "Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah." And like you
man.
said, he said earlier, he was like, "Oh," he says, "There's, what I'm saying, Forbes top 100 list, 100." He says 100 with three popes. What do you say, four kings or what? What I'm saying, four kings and stuff like that. And you
Another
know,
thing, Tony. I'm
mm-hmm,
glad you brought up the Forbes thing again. Capitalism wins again.
always,
The only reason she's in this situation because she needed the money. And here's my one gripe with the show, my one
yeah,
singular gripe with the show,
mm-hmm,
and that is episode 5, I believe,
mm-hmm,
4 or 5, 4. I don't remember. Whenever we realized, or it was revealed to us that, like her mom got the car back, and they used the car for the parts to make her iron suit.
mm-hmm.
That right there was
They
like,
good,
I don't understand
yeah.
where you got this money from to do this.
Uh, uh,
Unless
Also, when she got the parts, when she said, I went to the junkyard and I got some parts, and say I got the parts, and she bought little man with the little wagon back, and the mama had the money to buy that Barracuda back, and that was in pristine. You know what I'm saying? What was that, like a 1970 something
it was,
Barracuda, 70
yeah, yeah, it was like late
70s,
60s, early 70s, but you know what I'm saying?
60s,
Muscle car.
Barracuda,
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
that back
yeah.
to buy it back, and whoever they bought it from won't go give it back to them on the cheap or whatever like that. Like today's price ain't yesterday's price.
Nah. So that part for me where I was a little bit miffed. Like I'm not sure if that fully checks for me.
Yeah.
But like thematically, like I do understand like why they did it because it's like something still attached to the like to the dad and all of that. It was like a piece, but like then just to buy it back. Okay, okay, so Tony, let's just say she didn't buy it back fully and she had to go get a loan for this
Alone.
car.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, she would have to go get a classic car loan as well as play
Mm,
classic car insurance,
insurance.
which
Yeah.
are both high.
High as hell.
Because if you wreck a classic car, ain't no
Yeah.
real replacing it. It's either you're gonna
Yeah.
have to just get it, fixed up and like fully restored, or it's just a
It's
total loss and you're
trash.
selling it for parts.
Yeah.
Or yes, yeah, because like it's not like a brand new vehicle where they got like
Yeah.
parts readily to you know what I'm saying, or you can just get another
Yeah.
one. Ain't no getting another Barracuda.
So I guess my only somewhat grace I give to that is the fact that her mother did tell her, "Why didn't you come to me for if you had issues or you had problems and stuff?" She said that, but that's my grace. But I don't think she meant for money. She meant for emotional support,
Yeah,
and
of
I'm saying,
course. Of course.
and stuff
Of
like
course.
that. So I can understand that. That is a gripe for me too. Like,
My,
oh, we
my my
struggling for
only my
money.
only thing could like just recalling our good old friend Kendrick. Love's gonna get you killed. Pride's gonna be the death of you and me,
I mean, pretty much.
and
I
you
mean,
and me and me and me. I mean, cause for real, yo, like and let's think about this scene going back to when she was sitting down, and also just her whole kind of arc this whole time.
uh-huh.
Riri was blinded with ambition and was full of pride.
Yes,
And pride is definitely
yes,
a sin. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Like
yes.
so like
She was
the,
beyond
yeah,
prideful.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. That whole like I gotta do this, I'm gonna do this, that whole selfish nature.
uh,
The again, the selfish nature of man. So when people talking about I don't
mm-hmm.
understand like how she got tricked by the devil, she was being tricked by the devil the whole time. Like she was being
Yeah,
primed for that because everything she was doing was just for herself. Like it's like I like even though I'm doing this like
She was being tempted the whole time.
Tony,
Just
remember Tony, come on,
you know
like
what this
she
is? She's Anakin and Mephisto was Palpatine.
have you ever heard of the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I
The
mean,
wise.
that's really what that was, yo. Set that man on that,
Mm-hmm.
set that girl at the opera house. Like that, I mean, that, something, come on now, like, because everything she did was for selfish intent. Like, I gotta get the suit to protect us.
Definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
a Zay, a mom, here's a watch, and he put a watch on. She trying
Mm-hmm.
to watch her daggone Law and Order at night, gun go off,
Mm-hmm.
and she getting like she's in a protective bubble.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
she's a
saying?
Green Lantern bubble, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. So very funny. Everything she was doing was very selfishly motivated. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, okay, and this is the part that I was having struggles with people having problems with when it comes to this type of character because they don't understand that a hero, it's the stupid part, Tony. I'm just gonna say it.
What's that? Oh, say it, brother.
Like people not understanding that we can have complicated characters, right? Or complex characters. Because
Mm-hmm.
we've had like in the past, let's say 15 years of media,
Mm-hmm.
most of our heroes have been rather complex. The days of just, like good
Mm-hmm.
or bad,
Black and white.
like those
There's a gray
that
area
day
in
of
between.
those storytelling days are
Yeah.
pretty much over. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure even when we go see Superman, there's gonna be some gray that he has to deal with. It may not be
Yeah.
as much as Henry Cavill's, but there's gonna be
Yeah.
some gray that he has to deal with. So like I don't
Think of,
understand like that whole like, either or. Like how old is these people I'm
even
talking to?
right, even Parker, you know what I'm saying? You were just like, man, why does this dude like this? And then when he finally confronts his father, you were like,
Yo,
what?
Tony,
My man said, he
Tony,
said, yo, you kicked me out at 12.
12 years old.
12 years old. He was like, he said, I just had to cut my losses. What?
Damn.
And the thing is, all Parker was probably doing was lashing out because his mother passed away and he wanted
He
some
said
attention.
as much.
And he said that too. I just wanted some attention from you. And it seems the only way I got some
He
attention is when
said,
I
"Hey,"
got into some
he told her, he said, "Yeah, man, I ain't want to be a dad no more."
right. Basically, he's like, I don't want to be a dad. He was
It's
like,
like,
he was like,
yo,
he's like, people mamas die every day, B. You tough. You tough. You a man. You tough.
oh my
Get out my house, yo. 12 years old. And you kind of like,
God, I
okay. And
understand.
his whole
Like,
I understand. And, that was his villain story. And his whole thing was he went round and that's why he was doing because I kept trying to say to myself, what is the through the first 3 episodes, I said, what is the end goal with him going after all these companies? These companies have to be connected in some way. And then you find out that these are all companies that his father is like the most invested, so
he's
he owns it and
funding.
stuff.
Yeah, he's like
He's
his
funding
dad
all.
is like a venture capitalist.
Yeah, and yeah, and so it's like kind of like I get it, Parker, but it's like it's kind of like, damn, Parker, wish you didn't go about it in a way that you did, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. And look at what happened to him at the end. Powerless, saying it hurts without the cape, and then going to see probably my new favorite character in this whole thing. Let me explain something to you. I love black witches. I do. I'm here for more. I'm here for more black witches. We got my girl that was in Agatha all along who made it out. I can't think of her name right now. You know, I'm talking about Rashad. She made it. She was like the only one out that coven that was able to get out. And then, shout out. We didn't say this in the
He's
last
one,
week's
yeah,
episode.
yeah, yeah. Jennifer Kale, shout out Jennifer
Jennifer Kent,
Kale. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but also we didn't say this last week episode. Shout out to saying someone from our childhood, Cree Summers, popping up in this. There you
Yes,
go, popping up in this
yes.
show. and Cree Summers and it felt like Cree Summers was just being acting as Cree Summers in this in this role, and then come to find out that she was a student at Kamar-Taj. I said, makes perfect sense. And then her daughter, what Zim is like, hey, she was like, what? They was like, what? And everything. It was because that did throw me
Zelma,
off. I'm not
Zelma.
Zelma. I'm sorry. That did throw me off. When they were sitting there, like, she was like, Mom, I'm sorry. And she snaps her finger, and they just drop, like, whoa. And this is, what did I tell you about going to other dimensions? And she said, it's close by. It's a close by dimension. And he was
Also,
like, and then she said, hold on, she said, and then she was like, and then you built you a little house here. And then she said, well, you didn't say I could. And she was like, oh, hey, yeah, you're right. I didn't say it.
all right, let's talk about this real quick.
Uh-huh.
I love this too. Also loved how she was like, yo, like y'all should have just left me at Kamar-Taj and raised me there. And her mom's was like, that wasn't no place to be rearing no children. And she said, but if we never came back to Chicago, then you would have not have made your own magic. It's reckless, but
Yeah.
it's yours. Like, so she has a different way of
Yeah.
using magic. You know, so
Yeah.
like we got Zelma, her mom,
Mm-hmm.
Jen Kale. I put a post. I
Mm-hmm.
said all three of them plus Mordo. We need to get that. Y'all gotta go to a cookout. Gotta go to the
Yeah.
cookout. People were like
Yeah.
Mordo. I said, bro, I'm like, come on
Bro,
now.
girl. Yeah.
You know, Mordo gonna be like, hey, y'all already know who was lying to me, and it
Yeah.
was the ancient one is strange,
Give me
Jordan from the
more.
Dark Dimension.
Give me more black witches. And I guess it holds a spot for me because of, yes, I'm a Christian man or whatever, but however, my family from my grandfather's side is down in New Orleans, and they deal with a lot of stuff from, say some of them deal in some of the stuff, the voodoo, the hoodoo that we see, not even voodoo, but really hoodoo that we saw like in centers and stuff like that, which is very close to the like black culture, especially the southern black culture, because that's stuff that come from the motherland of Africa where we're from. I am here for it, sign me up for it and everything. And then of course, what happens at the end? What does Parker do? Black women saving someone again. Parker, he goes to
Always.
see Zelma at the thing, and she's like, yeah, this and that. He's like, no, I need some heavy duty stuff right here. Not this little, not no offense to your parlor tricks, but I need the stuff in the back room. And she said, what you know about the back room? All right, we gonna see. You know what I'm saying? We go see what's up. Even with her, the scene I like when they were the montage of them building the Barracuda Ironheart suit, and she was there, and she was like just sitting on top of the roof on the ceiling, and she was making somewhat of a doorway to the dark dimension to get some, what I'm saying, some fluid to help power the suit or whatever. She found a way to get that from the dark dimension without actually having to venture into
You
the
think it
dark
was
dimension.
you think she was drawn from the Dark Dimension?
I think so. 'Cause remember, she was like, because they want to use magic to fight magic, and they said, and she was like, they think the cape came from the dark dimensions.
Yeah,
I
from
think it was
Dormammu. So so
Dormammu.
so so essentially, she was doing like the ancient one.
Hmm.
Interesting. I
And
didn't
then
even think
and then
about that.
remember and then remember what she said. She was like, "Listen, what I tell you about magic, you got to respect it and do stuff when say don't let it affect you." And I think that was she was nervous about with, what I'm saying, when she put the magic into the suit to make sure it didn't corrupt her and everything. It didn't corrupt her, but it just interrupted for some reason. She said, "Hey, this magic and your AI ain't vibing,
Yeah,
ain't vibing
yeah, yeah,
together
yeah,
or
yeah. And
whatever."
then
So,
Natalie just disappeared. She couldn't save her on the download.
yeah. So so
Yo,
so so that's another thing this show did that I like. I like it tied in a lot of things to stuff that we've seen in MCU. Like I said, Kamar-Taj came up. Also, when Slug was talking with Elijah about where she get her black market stuff from, she got it from the same God, what's the name of that? You know what I'm talking about? The place where Wong and
Oh, Madripoor.
Abomination, Matt, right? Yeah, she said, "Oh yeah, I get a lot of this stuff." You know, what I'm saying she was like, "Yeah, I've gotten some stuff from Madripoor." He was like, "Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my black market tech from stuff." And he was like, "You know how hard it is to get it through there." So they're tying stuff in. You know what I'm saying? Stuff in together, and then once again, this show shows black people being so black, like when Ironheart flipped the truck over with Slug in it, and Slug got out, and Ironheart said, "What's up?" And then you see Slug say, "You got it." And just walk. You just like said, "It's not my ministry. Let me just
No,
go
let
ahead.
me go ahead and regroup.
Yeah, go ahead
Also,
and
shout out to Clown. Clown got the biggest balls out of anybody, yo. Like there
yes,
was
Clown's a real one. Yeah,
no. She was like, "What's wrong with you, Parker?" It's like
yeah, right.
they're like,
He
"Yo,
said,
yo."
I was like, girl, do you know what this nigga can do to you?"
She
And the
trying to
fact
get.
he said, "Who you talking to?" She said, "I'm talking to you." She said, "I looked up overdose. We know that man ain't do no damn drugs." She was like, "Did you kill him? Did you kill him?" And then you saw like even Slug be like, "Girl, be easy, be easy." Did you see the twins even over there like, "Hey yo,
I don't know about
let's
this.
relax here.
Yeah,
Like this nigga do got the cake right here." Yeah, Clown was like she ain't care. She wanted to know, you know what I'm saying, what was up. And I think I think the storyline with her was she wanted a family.
yeah.
And
And
that
she
was
she
her whole
believed
thing.
in
Because
that.
remember
Yeah,
she believed in that, she believed in that Dominic Toretto family. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Family. That
Definitely,
family, man. So yeah,
definitely
I
that.
mean, this show for me, this show was really good. For me, it was really good. Like I said, a couple of things I was like, or whatever, but I could possibly overlook some of those things. I will say I believe the second set of three episodes were maybe a little bit better than the first, and it moved and it flowed a little bit. It
And that's
flowed
kind
a
of how
little bit better.
you will want a series to do. Like you want to get progressive
Right.
as you go on. Like you don't want to think to peak at the third episode, and then it just be like I'm just like because like think about it.
Yeah.
Like the first three episodes were done really well. Like thinking about it, we talked about that for like
Mm-hmm.
50 minutes. And then these
Mm-hmm.
last three really cap off this series in a way that was very satisfying. And like I said before, it really threw us for a loop because we just knew the black girl wasn't gonna be doing the deal with the devil. You know?
Yeah.
So
No.
like that for me was like, oh snap. Like even
Yeah.
Maddie and
She
he was like,
she was
yo.
doing
It's
she was doing
Natalie
some
for real?
non
Like, oh my God. Like she did
yeah,
it?
yeah. Riri did some non-black girl shit. That's all
Yeah,
we
like she
want to
was
say.
cussing at her
So,
mama, yo. Like, what's going on?
yo, I saw that. I was like, I said, in the backhand in three, two, and I was
She
sprinting
she hopped in
for
that suit like
and Superman at her. It
told her
wasn't
she said she's
you.
like she said and called the
I
suit on
holler.
her to her.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, I
Superman.
holler.
At her.
Like, yeah, I'll holler at you later or whatever.
Oh God. Nah, man. Like, that I was like, oh boy. I was very
Yeah.
surprised by that. But nah, like this series as a whole to me.
Hmm.
One of the stronger MCU series, very
Yeah.
unexpectedly. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have like a ranking in my head right now, but like
Yeah.
this was low key really good.
Yeah, it
Like,
was, and you know what? Shout out to the real ones out there that actually watch this series and appreciate this series. And like I said, I wasn't going to engage with the BS that come for people that was trying to come for this series, and I didn't. Pat myself on the back because I didn't do it.
I've
It's
been
been
deleting and
enough
blocking.
people that it's been enough people doing it for us. And yes, me and Rashad are blackity black, but guess what? It ain't just black folk though. It's white folk out here like, yo, what the hell is wrong with y'all people? This show is really, you know what I'm
It's
saying? This show is
good.
really good and stuff like that. Because a lot of the quote unquote crybaby angst they're having, I'm like, that's a crybaby angst for this, but someone else went through the same thing, but you don't have a problem, what I'm saying, problem with it. You have a problem with Riri just being a smart woman, but you don't have a problem with Tony Stark or Bruce Banner or Hank Pym just being naturally smart. Oh, she's a criminal. She's a bad person. But a lot of y'all love Ant-Man and Scott Lang because he's lovable. And he, you forget, was a robber. They started a business on home security because they are former, you know what I'm saying, former robbers. What are we doing here? Oh, well, she shouldn't be able to have these types of powers to do this stuff like that. Just be born to have these powers. Well, she really don't have any powers except she's smart as hell. But you don't have a problem with the X-Men being born as mutants and just having these powers. Y'all are weirdos. Y'all are really weirdos. And I would love it if you just go ahead and say what your problem was with this. Riri is black.
Yeah.
And there may be some, and there's some LGBTQ people in this, and you hate them as well. Guess what? Sorry, none of us are going away. And I mean that as in black people, LGBT, here.
As
No, I'm not
and
LGBT. And no, I'm not LGBTQ.
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
just
we,
like, hey,
no, no, I
yeah,
understand.
you know,
It's just it also just the matter of the fact that this show did so much and with so little.
yeah.
So little Disney fanfare. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they fully was for some reason not confident in what they were doing, or they
Mm-hmm.
just because of okay, this show was made, it was done in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, they couldn't really they didn't want to bring it out because we had writer strikes, we had
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, SAG was striking, actor strike.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the series they did want to put on the back end just so we could, you know, we can hold on to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this was done at a time, I think I've said this several times here, where former Disney head Bob Chapek was trying to flood the streets with Disney Plus series. And this is not just MCU. This is Disney proper
Well,
across the board.
yeah.
I mean,
I th-
they
I think some of y'all
gave
forgot how much stuff came out
they gave
on
people
Disney.
some of the stupidest series. Like
Yeah.
they gave what's your man that was
Hawkeye.
yeah, they gave him a series about, I don't know, like fixing things. They gave
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, I cannot the white dude's name. Mad funny, tall, skinny. He was in Thor Ragnarok. He played the the, the,
Uh
the dude that was running Sakar.
oh um 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 um
I forgot whatever his name. You know what I'm talking about. Like they gave him a
Jeff
show.
Gold Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, they gave Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum a show about nature. Like they
Yeah.
were just handing
They was
out
throwing stuff.
shows to
Uh-huh.
anybody and anybody who had an
Man.
idea. And of course, they was like, "Look, we got Wakanda, we got the next one, Black Panther movie coming out. We want to make a movie with the characters going to be in that. It's going to be Riri Williams, and we want to do that." It was like, "Shoot, cool, got you." So they made that. You know what I'm saying? All the other Disney series, like the last one is going to be made like that, comes out in December, and that's Wonder Man. So that's gonna be a joint six episode series more than likely too. So now, because of the writer strikes, because of the actor strikes, like the way Disney has to do TV now or series is like normal TV. Hence, you
Yeah,
get
episodic.
Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has to be a showrunner. You gotta have people. You gotta have a writer's room. You can't
Mm-hmm.
you can't do this like a movie and split it up. So
Yeah.
whole shift came. Chapek got ousted like in 2022. Iger comes back in
Mm-hmm.
2023. He's like, and he is cutting the literal fat. He said, nah, all this dumb stuff, we gonna put everything back to theatrical because
Mm-hmm.
streaming is not a sustainable model. You gotta remember Netflix only started making money like last year. This company has ran in the red ever since its inception.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think y'all understand that. Netflix only got into the black last year. They only made profitability last year. Netflix has been a thing since like 2000 when they was just pumping out DVDs.
Yeah,
Yeah, kids. So
yeah.
back way back in the day, Netflix
Hmm.
wasn't a streaming series. They were a direct to home DVD rental. So you can like, yo, I want to get these DVDs. They would send them in the mail, and you would either send
Hmm.
them back or you would buy them from Netflix. So and then they was
And then
just
they had the red boxes in front of like the
yeah,
gas
yeah,
stations and the
yeah. And then
grocery
Netflix was like,
store.
yo, we're gonna make our own shows and we're gonna do streaming, which was a very,
Hmm.
very new thing when House of Cards drops back
Hmm.
in the day. So like, yeah, like streaming ain't no real money in streaming because
Hmm.
it's no because there's no advertising. That's how
Hmm.
they get money to make these shows on regular broadcast network
And that's
because
why a lot
it's
of and
advertising.
that and that's why a lot of the you have now two options when you have these streaming services. You got the options with no ads where you're paying more money, where that means you're basically paying for the ads to come
Yep.
up there, or you're paying possibly the same price, maybe a little more, but you're going to have commercials running throughout your whole, what I'm saying, throughout your whole stuff, man. So
Looking at you, Hulu.
so yeah,
Yeah.
man, boy,
And Amazon
real
Prime.
quickly, real quickly, I just want to say this, yo. Hulu has be pissing me off with that, and I be looking like, don't I have the Hulu with no thing? They be like, oh well, it's certain commercials you won't see, whatever, and you just like, man, get out of here. Even with Peacock, it's the same daggone, what I'm saying? It's the same daggone thing, which is mad, mad, mad annoying.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is.
before we wrap this, I do want to say one thing, and this isn't related to the show.
Okay.
Shout out to the fact that we finally got a trailer for Eyes of Wakanda.
Saw that. Saw that.
So
And it is a
each
teaser too.
epi yeah, teaser. Each episode of this Ironheart, this third set, there was a teaser for Eyes of Wakanda. And Eyes of Wakanda we thought was supposed to be coming out October, November. Psych!
August 27th.
August 27th. And that is on that is a Sunday. That's a Sunday come because
Really?
I think so. If I'm
That's
not mistaken.
crazy.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm not tripping.
I got on Wednesday.
You're
Let me
right.
make sure it's the right.
It's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. You're right, correct. I'm thinking about September 28th at DC Battle of Bands at the Legion.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
See.
yeah. So Oz Wakanda comes out on the 27th. Oh, that's a Wednesday. I'm thinking they're gonna drop all of them at the same time, right? Did they
I
say?
I haven't seen, but
Yeah,
I'm
because
not
like them
sure.
Jones is like a half hour long. So
Yeah, I think
psh,
they probably are. I think it's kind of like I think it's gonna kind of be like what's the Tales Star Wars series, Tales of the Jedi, Tales
oh,
of I th I
that's a good
think
comp.
maybe
That's
that's
a
what
good
it's gonna
comp.
be like with that. I'm really interested to see, about that, especially seeing Wakanda through the ages or whatever,
Yeah, like a little
so
like an anthology type
yeah,
series. That's gonna be
anthology
dope.
type series. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's really all I got, man. If I had to give this show a grade, I'm giving it a B, a strong B, man, for real. Strong B, maybe a B plus, but I didn't have a problem with this show at all. A few,
yes,
except for a few minor,
it's a
except a few minor things.
B minus depends on how I
Yeah.
feel, but not it's yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's around there. Nah, like it's definitely not what people thought it was. Of
Yeah.
course, we got like people like really, really, what I'm saying, excited about it. Of course, look, I know I'm excited about it. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
yeah.
I mean,
Give it to me, Rashad.
I'm excited about it.
Uh-huh.
Because you know what I'm saying? We OG Ironheart fans over here. We
Right,
new to
yeah.
this, we true to this.
How many mocks? What
You know what
what
I'm
what mock
saying?
number? What mock number suit she on? This is what she's on. Mark 4,
Yeah.
five, maybe 5. I'm gonna say 5 because that's Mark 1 right there.
One, Wakanda Suit is
Mark 2 is
two.
The one the MIT
MIT is
suit,
3.
but then that thing got kind of trashed up and
Yeah,
she had to
yeah,
piece
yeah.
apart the
Then she
trash
got,
can suit.
yeah, then she
And then that
redid
one
it
got
as
ripped
4.
in half by Ezekiel. And
And
then
then she
five
made
is the
the
Barracuda, the magic suit. This is
she made a Delta
the
Sigma
Magic the
Theta suit.
Gathering suit.
That's Magic the Gathering suit.
Uh,
That is hilarious.
Magic the Gathering
A
suit.
D&D suit, you know what I'm saying? So like yeah,
D&D
that's
suit. So
5.
yeah.
So essentially that suit got wrecked. I mean that suit's still good. Yeah. So the shit on her
Yeah, yeah,
fifth
yeah.
suit. Show Mark 5. All
Uh-huh.
right, y'all. That's it, man. We appreciate
Uh-huh.
y'all. I think I'm gonna go see Jurassic World. I may do a review on that. I just There's a high feel. And still writing for the Interstellar. Almost done with the music part. Join the
For those of
site.
y'all who haven't seen Sinners, 4th of July, it comes on Max,
Yeah.
HBO Max streaming.
Yeah, Sinners on
Please
Max.
watch, please watch
I
this
mean I don't
movie.
if you didn't see it in theaters, I don't understand why you ain't buy the digital download. Like you just being
Right,
cheap at
yeah.
this point. Definitely go
Yeah.
see Sinners.
But
Sinners was
mhm.
after you see Sinners, go back and watch our several
Yeah.
reviews. We have
Yeah.
3 reviews on Sinners.
Yeah.
3. All right.
Mhm.
That's it, man. theuponfurtherreview.com. Check us out. Join for the 10. 10 get you in. And
Mhm.
that's it, man. Till next time.